In this video, we'll take a look at the two different email campaign builders that are part of the IronClench email marketing system. To get to the editors, you can go to Campaigns and choose Create a Campaign, and this will create a brand new drag and drop editor campaign. We also have a WYSIWYG editor that you can access by clicking on View Campaigns and then choosing to create a campaign with the WYSIWYG editor. You can also create one of either type of these campaigns directly from the View Campaigns page. When you're ready to begin creating a drag and drop editor campaign, simply click the button, or as I mentioned a moment ago, you can go to Campaigns and choose Create a Campaign. Then you'll want to name your campaign. So I'll call this one My First Campaign. And then you can choose from either a basic template, which is an empty layout with framed cells that sort of guide you in creating your content layout. You can choose an HTML campaign, which gives you a box where you can simply paste your code in, or you can create a blank template with nothing inside of it and you start from scratch. The other options we have for campaigns are our themed templates, which cover just about every week of the year and can be used to very quickly assemble a drag and drop campaign that's relevant to the current week. For this video, we're going to choose the basic one column template and click Next to begin. Now once the campaign builder loads, you have a few options across the top that you should look at. You have the ability to preview your campaign content on both a desktop device as well as a mobile device. You can show the page structure, which turns on these dotted lines inside of the campaign editing window. You can save and exit, or you can save and keep editing, or you can cancel. You'll also set the subject line for your campaign in this top gray bar here. Now this is the subject line that will be delivered to your recipients, so keep that in mind. This builder is very easy to use. It's simply a matter of moving your mouse around. The blue box highlights what content you can currently click to select. So as you can see here, we're selecting these structure rows, which are found under the Structure tab. And as you can see, it's a full width selection here. Now if I move in closer, I can select this text element or this text element, and these are found under the Content tab, and this is a text block. This one down here would be an image block. This one down here would be the button block. There are a few other options such as the social block, which is these icons here, and these are fully customizable. You can add and remove any social icons you'd like to add or remove from your campaign. So for example, if you use Facebook and Twitter, but not Google+, it's very easy to go in here and simply remove the Google+ option. Simply click delete and away it goes. All you have to do to configure your social icons is drop in the links to your Facebook page or your Twitter page or Instagram or YouTube or whatever it might be. Editing these text blocks is just like using a basic word processor. You simply click to select the text and you'll see this small editing bar appear, which allows you to do things like change the font, change the size, change the italic settings, bold, underline, justification, all kinds of things. You can even link the text with the special links that are included in the system. And these are our built-in unsubscribe links and our built-in view web version links. The merge tags are used to add custom fields from your contact list and allow you to pull that data into a campaign. So for example, if I wanted to create a first name salutation, I could simply create a merge tag link and click first name, and it'll drop in the token. This token is designed so that every time an email is sent out, the system will automatically replace this first name token with the first name content of the custom field associated with the list we send to. Now, if you drop in a first name token and you send to a contact list that does not contain first names, this will simply appear blank. Changing photos is equally as easy within this editor. You can select a photo and use auto width settings, or you can scale the photo however you'd like. You can set it to full width on a mobile device. You can justify and align the photo however you'd like within this space. You can change your image. You can use the built-in image editor, which is really a fast and easy way to do things like crop or resize or add frames. There's some fun tools in here, so you might want to just play around with it a little bit. Any content within the drag and drop editor can be moved simply by clicking on it to select and then grabbing this little crossed arrows icon. You can take these content structure blocks and you can drag them up and down. You can take the individual text, image, icon, social, buttons, and you can drag them around just as well. I'll go ahead and add a 2-column block so you can see how easy this really is to do. I'll select an image, I'll pull it from down below, I'll drop it into the left, and then I'll choose Auto Width, which will control the size of this image based on how it's arranged in the frame. We'll grab this little text element and we'll pull it up here and drop it in. As I mentioned, everything in this window right here is clickable and you can edit or move or remove, whatever you'd like to do. When you select a content or a structure block, you have the option to either delete it to remove it from your design, or you can use this button to mirror it if you need another block that looks exactly like it. That's a basic rundown of this editor. Below this video, I'll include a much more in-depth version of this video where I go through the entire process of building an email campaign with this editor so you can see it all in action in real time. The next editor that we'll take a quick look at is the WYSIWYG editor. Now this is a slightly more difficult editor to use because you can't really grab and drag and drop elements of your design around as easily as you can with the drag and drop, but it's still pretty simple and straightforward. We keep it around because it's a great way to build HTML emails if you know how to code in HTML and CSS. If you're an advanced programmer in HTML and CSS, you might want to use this editor to create your email campaigns from scratch. Of course, this is a much faster option, but it is more limiting as far as what you can do with the design. A big benefit of the drag and drop editor over the WYSIWYG is that this editor will automatically generate responsive code, so that your email campaigns will reformat based on the device they're being viewed on, such as a desktop, a tablet, or a mobile phone. The WYSIWYG editor does not do any of this automatic reformatting of responsive code. You can create a text version of this email with a simple button click, but that's about as advanced as it gets beyond simply editing the HTML and CSS. To begin, you can click to create a campaign with the WYSIWYG editor, where you'll be brought to this screen. You want to name your campaign, so we'll just call this My Campaign. And then you have some options on the right side in this templates box. You can choose to start with no template, which is a completely empty slate, where you can build your email campaign from scratch. Or you can select any of the pre-built templates that we have loaded within the IronClench email marketing system. We'll go ahead and pick this feedback template for our example. Once the editing page loads, you'll have some similar options to the drag and drop editor, such as the save and keep editing, save and exit, and cancel. And you'll also set the subject line up in the header area of this page, just like you would with the drag and drop. Now here's where the big differences start to show up. You can choose to create the content with the WYSIWYG editor below, which does give you the option, as I mentioned, to view the source code of your email campaign, where, like I mentioned again, is if you're comfortable with HTML and CSS, you might find this option appealing. You can also use it as a visual editor, and again, it's somewhat like a word processor, but not as streamlined as the drag and drops interface. You can't get or grab any of these elements and drag them around, so you're kind of stuck with using your basic editing ability within the confines of a WYSIWYG editor. As I mentioned, these are legacy type editors, and they've been around for a long time, so you've probably seen them before. You can also upload an HTML document. Now you would want to use this WYSIWYG editor if, for example, a coworker gave you the code for an email campaign they'd like to send out, and you simply need to upload the HTML document. You can do that by selecting this option, choosing the file, and hitting upload. When the file is uploaded, it will appear here, and you'll be all ready to go. One of the last steps when using the WYSIWYG editor that you'll want to make sure and complete is to click the Get Text Content from Editor button. It will automatically look at your code up at the top, and it will generate a text version of the email below. Now, as you notice, it does things like it converts certain types of characters into their ASCII equivalents. It also adds in some little bits of CSS here and there, so you'll probably want to go through this version and clean it up just a bit. You can run a simple spam check. Now, this is not gospel, but what it will do is it'll point out areas that you might want to take another look at, and point out keywords that could cause your email to get caught in spam filters. You can use the inbox previewing tool, which gives you the ability to view this email in certain email platforms such as Gmail or AOL or Hotmail. You can also use this easy previewing tool to simply type in your email address and click the button, and it'll send you a preview from our previewing system. Now keep in mind that this is not equivalent to sending an email campaign. Tokenized links like the first name that we looked at in the drag and drop will not work. Neither will system type links, such as clicking a button to view the email online in a browser or clicking any unsubscribed links. We always recommend that you create a seed list that contains only your address and send the email campaign just to yourself so that you'll see exactly what your recipients are going to get. The rule applies to both the drag and drop and this editor. We do not include an easy previewing function with the drag and drop editor because we want you to use a seed list in order to test your designs. When you're finished building an email campaign with this editor, you can simply click Save and Exit, and you'll be returned to the Campaign View Campaign screen. That pretty much wraps it up for the two types of editors. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'll include a much more in-depth version of the drag and drop editing video where I actually build an email campaign. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you out.